We're back in New York. Look at Manhattan and just outside the city here in Flushing, Queens. Cubs and Mets. Time to send it downstairs and check in with Taylor McGregor.
Let's play two. And in case you did not join us for our broadcast earlier, there were some big-time roster moves that we announced, beginning with Edward Cabrera and Ben Brown, both going on the 15-day IL. Now, Edward Cabrera, we saw get injured in last night's game, had a left hamstring strain. He got imaging done this afternoon. That revealed a moderate strain. No timetable for his return, but you could expect at least a couple of weeks. And then Ben Brown also placed on the IL. He is sent back to Chicago, so he will get imaging done on that left neck strain to determine what potentially could come of that. They felt like this is something that's been growing over the last couple of weeks, so they want to be safe and figure out exactly what is going on, but they really have no idea the severity of it yet, Boog.
Yeah, that is scary, and obviously Ben Brown has been their best starter since he joined the rotation in early May. Matthew Boyd will join the rotation tomorrow, and that is certainly good news. Let's check out the Cubs lineup. PCA at the top of the order, red hot, followed by Matt Shaw, who gets a start in left field. Seiya Suzuki will get a chance to play defense for the first time since June 13th. Seiya will bat third. Alex Bregman will hit in the cleanup spot. Bush hits fifth. Horner hits sixth. That's the middle of your order for the Cubs. At the bottom of the order, Kelly, Ramirez, and Swanson. Dansby coming off a 7-ribby game in game one of the double dip. That group will go up against Sean Manaea.
Yeah, the big left-hander. He's been around the big league scene for a decade plus now. First-round pick of the Royals out of Indiana State back in 2013. Velo has been going down. Because of that, he's dropped his arm angle. He's gotten a little more crafty as he has aged. And he throws a ton of sweepers, and will be probably his most important pitch here tonight. Lifetime 80 and 68 with a 4.11 ERA.
JD, do you feel like you got craftier as you aged?
I feel like I should have gotten craftier.
But you didn't.
I don't feel like I did.
What about in the booth?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think we know so. John Shambi and Captain Crafty. Here we go. And Pete Crow Armstrong fouls one off. We are underway here at Citi Field.
It's a right-handed leaning lineup for Craig Counsell here tonight, as you would expect with this lefty with his drop-down delivery.
And already the team's violating a code that I hold dear to my heart. Both sides wearing alternate tops. I have a problem with that. Glenn Casper's with me. Next pitch is cut on and missed. It's like we're playing slow pitch softball and the winner buys a 12-pack of tall boys. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Home team says they're wearing the alternates, then the other team has to wear solid.
Whoever wins game one of the doubleheader gets to pick.
That's fine too. And that one outside, PCA would not chase. One of the things with Pete Crow Armstrong in this ridiculous hot stretch, he's not chasing, but he's also not swinging in zone as much. And a swing and a miss. He chased that time. Manaea bends that one down and away. A strikeout to begin. And one gone. It'll bring up Matt Shaw.
Yeah, it certainly can be a tough look first at bat of the game against a guy like Manaea, who's so different than most pitchers you're going to face, especially for a left-handed hitter. Fastball will hover between 90 and 92 miles per hour.
That one missing upstairs, and it looked like Alvarez thought about challenging it. Stu Sherwater is our plate umpire. Manaea, the 34-year-old from Maryville, Indiana. And Shaw comes up empty.
Manaea's a big dude. 6'5", 245.
Check swing, and he went. That's Jordan Baker down there.
Let's see, did he really go?
Sure.
Mm.
I think so. That's outside. Manaea touching 94. Last few years the velocity had been up. It is not this year. But his first year in a Met uniform, he was sensational. 32 starts, 181 and 2/3 innings, and a 3.47 ERA. The 2-2. And popped foul. They got all the way to Game 6 of the NLCS and lost to the Dodgers. Went on quite a run.
He opted out of his deal and then re-upped with the Mets. 3-year deal that takes him through next season.
He opted out of a 2-year contract, and then 3 years, 75 is what he signed for. Got that crossfire motion. It's got a little Chris Sale flavor to it. 2-2. 1 out, base is empty. And that's down and in.
Matt saying that ball hit him. He wants the Cubs to check. Looking, they're checking. I'm saying no. Matt's like, I'm not lying to you, man.
I'm telling the truth, I swear. 3-2. Here we go. All right, 1 pitch back. Did it hit him? I think it did. That Shaw will take his base, so either by land or sea or walk or hit by pitch, he's aboard.
Yeah, and I would imagine in the video room they're like, yeah, it looks like it might have got him, but we're not sure, and we don't want to use that challenge this early in the game if we're not sure.
Yep. Say Suzuki here. Suzuki getting the start in right field. Overall numbers ticking up. Man at first, 1 out. Here's the 0-1. Anaya, first-round pick by the Royals out of Indiana State. Debuted with Oakland in 2016. Also pitched for the Padres and the Giants.
If you're thinking, wasn't there a Manaea guy that used to have crazy long hair?
That's him.
That's him.
He got a haircut when he came to New York.
No, for the A's against the Sox back in April of 18.
That's pop foul, and now 2-2. There's that 59 on his back for his older half-brother David, who died in January of 2024 from cancer at the age of 59. There goes the runner. Pitches outside, throw to second, tag, safe, still safe.
Way to peel it. Maybe he bounced off the base for a minute. Okay, stop whining. This slide is brought to you by Wisconsin Dells. Claim your getaway at WisDells.com. Nice pick by Simeon, but by the time he recovers and applies the tag, Shaw's already on the bag, and he hangs on for dear life.
3-2 on the ground. Lindor boots it, picks it up, throw to first, and it'll go as an E6. His first chance back since coming off the IL, and he says, my bad.
Yeah, we know that. That's on me, he says. Francisco Lindor got flat-footed. Didn't charge it. Wasn't in the flow.
So Suzuki is safe. And the batter will be Bregman. 2 on, 1 out. And the pitch. Fouled back. Alex Bregman, look at the overall numbers, and slowly trending in the right direction. Even still, looking at his numbers against lefties, he has 1 extra base hit against left-handed pitching this year. That's shocking.
Yeah, it really is.
In the air, left field, towards the corner. And the catch is made in left for out number 2. Now the batter now will be Michael Busch. So Bregman retired, 2 on, and it's up to Busch to cash in this chance.
Francisco Lindor is Manaea's biggest cheerleader right now, hoping he can get him off the hook for that error on that routine ground ball.
The 1-1.
That's a tough pitch, man, when a guy can execute that. Crossfire delivery, glove side to the outside corner. Bushy hitting .238 against left-handed pitching this year. The quality of the at-bats lately has been better. He's added a little slug. Just missed a hanger there.
So now 2-2.
Taking his walks, he's got a .365 on base percentage against the Southpaws. I'd like another crack at this one.
Two.
Even though Manaea's only made a couple of starts, he's been kind of used as a long man, so he's pitched a decent amount of innings, 54 1/3 innings coming into this game. And obviously has a long track record as a starter in the big leagues.
2-2. Down and in, it missed, and now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes on Michael Busch. Nico Horner would be next if Busch can reach and keep the inning going.
There he is. He's champion.
Popped up, foul ground, third base side. That'll get out of play.
You know, when I lived in Texas, Boog, I think we had a Manaea bush in our backyard, as a matter of fact. Manaea Busch matchup. The name sounds Hawaiian, but it's a Samoan.
On the ground to the right side, Simeon gathers it in, and the Cubs can't cash in the chance. They lead 2. Shota Imanaga will take the mound. The lefty to the bump when we come back.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Bears!
This year, so 9 of 80 games for your top 2 players. And now a look at Shota Imanaga.
Yeah, we talked about his good work in the open. A big part of that, he has not allowed a home run in those last 2 starts, 10 in his previous 3. He's been a little bit more on the ground here lately, and they won't be hitting if he's throwing a splitter. I know I butchered that, Chris Camper. I apologize.
That Shaw comes running in. Benj retired. Can we try it again?
Yeah, let's throw that up there again. Chris worked hard on this, and by golly, we're going to get it right.
He's got a little bun there. He's working ponytailish bun. Man bun.
Here we go. They won't be hitting if the splitter is splitting.
That's right.
Yeah.
And here comes Lindor to the plate as he comes up to my girl. First pitch swinging, pops it up. Suzuki charging in and towards the line and makes the catch. Lindor retired on 1 pitch.
One thing to keep an eye on from Shota here tonight is those last 2 starts against the Rockies where he was quite effective. He threw a lot of fastballs. He's pretty heavy fastball in those outings. It's going to be primarily fastball splitters to the righties. The slider will play, the sweeper against the left-handed bats. Occasional get over curveball.
Here comes the pitch. Well, we've seen the velocity has ticked up from last year and much more in line from his fabulous first year. He put up a 2.91 ERA and was an all-star.
Yeah, all-star that year and finished what, 5th in Cy Young Award voting 2024. And we see really a return to form. You know, last year an off year for him, dealt with an injury.
A hamstring injury May 4th. He suffered covering first in Milwaukee. Put him out 7 weeks.
Good look at the split grip and then the action on the pitch, and Bichette way out in front.
Bo waits. Shota fires. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Shota Imanaga gets him 1, 2, 3. We'll head to the second. No score here at Citi Field. Back at Citi Field as we go to the top of the second. And Nico Hoerner takes a big rip at one. 0-1 on Nico. Sean Manaea gets back to work. He threw 30 pitches in that first inning. See the numbers for Nico. That's a line drive and a base hit into left field. Benj over to get it. Hoerner will take the turn. He'll cruise into second, and it's a stand-up double for Nico Hoerner.
Yeah, one of those in each of his last 3 ball games last night. Ripped a double to left earlier today in the first game of the doubleheader. Pumped one into the right field corner. Now he starts the second with this 2-base hit, and this double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year and 200,000-mile warranty on every new car. Good vibes for the Cubs hitters these days.
Ball 1 to Carson Kelly. Kelly starting the nightcap of the doubleheader. Miguel Amaya came up with a big infield single in a Game 1 win. That is drilled down the left side. Fair ball. That'll take a bounce and kick around in the corner. Hoerner in to score. Kelly replaces him at second. 1-0 on the RBI 2-bagger by the Cubs catcher.
Trading places. 2 real good swings. First Hoerner, now Carson Kelly stays back on that breaking ball, moves right into his power. I was lucky he didn't put a little more air into that one. It would have flown out of here.
Pedro Ramirez doing the DHing and comes up empty. Ramirez with Kelly out there at second. And a swing and a miss. Pedro, a switch hitter, better from the left side. He's just a baby, 22 years old. Excellent defender, and he could swing it. He was putting up great numbers at AAA before the Cubs called him up. Downstairs and T-Mac.
Boog, you mentioned his switch hitting abilities. When he was a young kid, he was a right-handed hitter, and that at the age of 12 finally swung a bat from the left side. His first time ever doing that, hit a home run. So it's funny how the power on the left side has continued. But I said, did anybody try to discourage you from being a switch hitter? He said all the time, and I would always point to Jose Ramirez as the guy. If he can do it, I can do it. It can certainly be done in the big leagues.
Yeah, Jose Ramirez likely headed for Cooperstown. Pretty brilliant player and a a cool role model as a guy who delivers slug, but with a low strikeout rate, high walk rate.
Steals bases.
No doubt. When we were in Cleveland this year, I remember asking Craig Counsell about Jose Ramirez. I'm like, what do you got? And he just said, I'm waiting for the aging curve to begin. 33 years old. The aging curve doesn't seem to have started yet for Jose Ramirez.
I think with the great ones, the aging curve that we normally see in baseball players doesn't apply.
Yeah.
They
a lot
stay
of
at
stuff
their prime
yeah.
longer than most.
Yeah, I think I think of pitchers a lot, and people would point to, you know, Seaver, Gibson, and I think people would get it backwards about like how many pitches they threw. That they were good because they threw a lot of pitches. No, they could throw a lot of pitches because they were so good.
And they stayed good.
Fly ball center field. That's hit pretty well. Ewing back. Gets around it. Makes the catch. Kelly will tag and make it to third. And the runner advances. So, productive plate appearance there from Ramirez as he flies to center. One away.
We'll see how the Mets play it if they draw the infield in here for Dansby. Ewing had to retreat a good ways to track that one down. The one thing I've noticed with him, he plays very shallow in center.
Swanson bounces one foul. Time now for the Blue Moon bright spot. And it's certainly been this guy the last 5 games. 8 out of 18, 6 extra base hits. 4 of those have left the park. And in the last 5 games, he's knocked in ho-hum 14 runs. Infield about halfway. What about this? Most runs batted in for the Cubs since runs batted in became an official stat in 1920. Over a 2-game stretch, only Dawson and Sosa with more.
I was witness to the Dawson Keith Moreland onslaught. That was against the '87 Astros.
But it was not at your expense.
No, it was not at my expense. Hard to believe. In the 3rd game of that series, the Cubs put 22 runs on the board.
Swing and a miss. Swanson is gone. There's 2 away.
RBI opportunity missed that time for Dansby. Couldn't get on top of that high fastball from Minaya. Seen him here. He likes to work up in the zone with that fastball. Typically will get pretty good tailing action on it. That one stayed pretty true.
First one to PCA, misses down and away. Ball 1, no strikes. Minaya in 2024 actually did work on dropping the slot a little bit and firing more across his body to make it more difficult for lefties to pick him up. Swing and a miss. I don't know that he still does it, but previously he would go out to the bullpen and he would throw some of his warm-up pitches from one pitcher's mound to the other home plate. That's outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
two mounds next to each other.
Mounds next to each other, and you know, if you got 2 guys up at the same time,
right?
And yeah, he would throw from one side and all the way over to the plate on the other side.
Yep. The 2-1. That's a way to just sort of train his body in terms of the slot he was trying to get to. Kelly's down there at third. He has knocked in a run with an RBI double. The Cubs have the early lead, 1-0. And that misses by a lot. And now it's 3-2. Does he throw him a strike here?
Well, I think he's going to throw him a sweeping breaking ball. My guess is his intent would not be to leave it in the strike zone.
3-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Pete didn't like it, but the third base umpire, John Bacon, says you win. Back at Citi Field, Boog Sciambi, Jim Deshaies, Taylor McGregor, and Shota Imanaga back at it, facing Vientos, Semien, and Alvarez. Now Mark Vientos, who had that big year in 2024, he had 27 homers, and it looked like they had their third baseman, a guy who's a former second-round pick, and last year he took a step back, and this year it hasn't been great.
That big time power.
Yep.
Doesn't walk much.
Doesn't walk much. It isn't great defensively. So
then you kind of limit your opportunities, perhaps.
Yep.
And then it's hard to get on a roll when you're not playing every day.
And again, for the Mets, they're 26th out of 30 teams in runs per game. They're next to last in first base OPS. And obviously they let Pete Alonso walk. And Met fans were upset about that. The 1-2. Check swing on a pitch downstairs. And now it's 2-2. Next pitch inside. If you see the left elbow guard that Vientos is wearing, I believe it says Swaggy V on it.
Swaggy just had one to hit right there and fouled it back.
Yeah, he did. And it's got eyes on it. Taylor tried to get one that said Swaggy T, and I wouldn't let her.
It's not the first time.
3-2. It's popped up. Right field. Suzuki reaching and makes the catch. That's a tough play and a really nice play. It smiles all the way around. Good hands right there.
Yeah, Suzuki's been really good out there this year, and it's time for the All-State good hands replay. As a matter of fact, it's almost like you knew it was coming. Good concentration as he approaches the wall. Nico over there to provide moral support. Hello, friends. My name is Seiya.
Ball in no strikes with Semien at the plate. And that's a little bit high. Fastball at 93 that time from Seiya. That is always a good sign. Top foul and out of play. Semien continues to be their Iron Man. He's played 159 games or more 7 different times. He has started all of their games this year.
Yeah, 35-year-old guy playing both ends of a doubleheader.
Swing and a miss. And now it's 2-2. And that's one of those things, though, in a big league clubhouse that'll get you mad respect, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Swing and a miss. Might have been hunching on something else. It's a strikeout, 2 away.
Climbed the ladder, worked him up with that fastball, and like his last 2 starts, it looked like Shota's going to lean heavily on that fastball here tonight. At least first time through the batting order. We've seen a lot of them.
And now it's Francisco Alvarez.
Yeah, there's a breakdown. 19 pitches, 15 of them his 4-seamer.
Here's a swing and a high fly ball left field, and that one near the wall and over the wall and gone. Alvarez, a towering home run as he flexes for the fellas in the bullpen. Number 8. And we are tied at 1.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you better be careful with this guy, though. He's had the best at-bats of any of the Mets in this series. He jumped all over that fastball. Home run number 8 for Alvarez, who's missed a bunch of time due to injury. I mean, that is impressive. That's letter high. And he skies it out of here.
He's homered in all 3 games in this series, Alvarez. So 1-1, the first one in for a strike to Wagaman. Wagaman doing the DHing. And that's in for a strike. Broken bat and then redirects. I think it kicked off a Shota. Returns to the dugout, gives him the thumbs up to say, I am okay.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Plate umpire Stu Sherwater asking him, you all right? He said, yeah, I'm good.
Ball got him. The bat, fortunately, did not. It's a whole lot going on in a pitcher. It's like, here, try to catch this ball while I throw this jart at you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Tell by Shota's body language, he's getting a little frustrated with some of these near misses. Carson Kelly, one of the best in the business with challenges. He'll let you know whether it's a strike or not.
Here's a 2-0. High fly ball, right field. That is back. That's back some more, and it is gone and out of here. A.J. Ewing, a 2-run homer. His 3rd of the year, and just like that, the Mets have the lead.
Home runs number 18 and 19 allowed by Shota this year. A high percentage of the runs he has allowed have come via the home run. Don't get too worked up about the solo shots, but the man aboard and when they come in bunches, that's the issue. That's why, despite having a 217 batting average against, he came into play tonight with a 4.26 ERA.
The mound with Tommy Ottavy and Edwin Stanberry. Edwin Stanberry, Shota's interpreter. Every once in a while, I sort of intermingle or substitute interpreter and translator, and technically interpreter is spoken word and translator is written word.
It's good to know.
Bounced foul. And Gilbert Gomez grabs
Careful,
that.
Gilbert. Yeah, that ball had some pace on it, man.
No doubt. Swing and a miss. Imanaga gets the strikeout of Beatty, inning over. But the Mets touch him up for a couple of homers. End of 2-3-1.
'20th Country Music's biggest acts. Windy City Smokeout is back July 8th through the 12th. Tickets start at just $85 per day at WindyCitySmokeout.com.
I like that. It's a good read by you.
I was trying to create a little drama.
Drama.
Well, it says 5 days. ...
Yeah.
20th Country Music's biggest acts.
0-1 on Matt Shaw. That's drilled, curling, foul.
Yeah, I think the Cubs are going to be fine against Manaea here tonight, and then knock on wood, and probably end up pitching 6 shutout innings from this point forward. But they're getting some pretty good whacks at them, and I think they're going to be able to score. See if Shota can settle in, keep the ball in the ballpark. Managers would love to get some length out of their starters here. Playing a lot of baseball here in the last 24 hours.
2 in the dirt. All right, so when you were pitching and you had a start like this, I mean, it's 2 innings, it's 1 run, but they've hit the ball hard. Were you thinking to yourself, oh man, I need to change something?
No, I don't think I was perceptive enough to do that. I think sometimes you get some kind of a visual cue or body language from your catcher, like try to, hey, we need to be a little more up or a little more out. Let's keep the ball out of the middle. I mean, I think you kind of know when you've been lucky.
Popped up. Vientos in a foul ground and reaches out and makes the catch. Pretty nice play.
I think there are some nights where you give up so much hard contact, and you know, I'm probably not as astute as the average bear. I'd be like, oh man, this is my night. I can just throw it in there. They're going to hit it at somebody. Let him hit rockets down there to Caminetti at third base.
I think you're very astute, personally.
But I think there are some guys in the heat of battle that are better than others at reading the situation, and I don't know that I was particularly good at that.
Okay. Do you think you would describe yourself as curious when you pitched? The 2-0.
Moderately so. I mean, we did not have access to the information. I would like to think that I would have been had we had all this information available to us that the modern guys do.
Manaea the 2-1. And that's in there for a strike. I always find it interesting because we will do games and it's in a case like this where you will just note the hacks that teams take and you will say this will probably be all right for the Cubs offense as Manaea freezes Suzuki.
Yeah,
2 away.
89 right through the heart.
Alex Bregman now. Bregman flied to left his first time.
All right, so this is a conversation we have a lot with Craig Counsell when his guys are struggling. He feels like sometimes they're too passive in hitters' counts. Yeah. Nobody on base, 2-0 count. I think Manaea would give him something to hit here. Nope.
Check swing. Didn't go.
That's a bad walk. From Manaea's point of view, good work by Bregman. And a 2-out base runner. Second walk taken by the Cubs. That's one thing they've done a lot of lately. They've taken a ton of free passes.
Highest walk rate in the majors. Coming into the day's play, second in on base percentage. The 0-1.
Michael Busch went deep in game 1 of the doubleheader, number 9. And no doubter. He just obliterated that baseball. Ready, set, go. Got work to do to catch up to last year's pace. He had 34 in the regular season.
It was.
Yeah.
Pitch towards first, and Vientos has it, steps on the bag, and he pitches around a 2-out walk. We'll head to the bottom of the third.
Cub fans, visit Cubs Trending inside the Marquee Sports app for all the top highlights, interviews, and must-watch moments all season long. Presented by Jeff Vukovich, your local Nationwide insurance agent. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
Shota delivers. And the first one to Benj misses. Carson Benj fly to left his first time. They had the Interborough race between innings out on the warning track. And that's between pizza to represent Brooklyn, the subway car to represent Queens, the ferry boat to represent Staten Island, the skyscraper for Manhattan, and then the giraffe that represents the Bronx.
Because of the Bronx Zoo.
That's right.
Yeah.
Great zoo, by the way.
Yeah.
And the giraffe's out in front, and things are going great. But here comes Queens, and the Bronx loses. Now, how many wins the Bronx has? None.
Nada.
I believe since they've instituted it, the Bronx has never won.
And I'm assuming that's because of the Yankees playing the Bronx.
I would have to figure.
Like the Legends race they do in Arizona. For years, Gracie never won. It was Mark Grace and Randy Johnson and Matt Williams and Gonzo.
Right.
And I think Gracie now wins occasionally.
Okay. Swing and a miss. Well, who would always? The presidents, was it Teddy Roosevelt?
Teddy Roosevelt, yeah.
Yeah.
Never.
Bench down on strikes. That is 4 for sure.
Left on left split. Gets the job done.
That one in for a strike to Lindor. On the ground towards third. Bregman bobbles. Foul ball.
So John Bacon umpiring down at third base here for the nightcap. That's this little spin that kicks it foul. Whoa, that was so close.
So very close.
That angle right there, I think the Cubs may have caught a little break. But John Bacon's on it. He's right on the line. Our camera is not. So. You know what? Let's defer to him. You know, we were talking the other night, last night, to be exact, about this whole concept of the shutdown inning.
Yes.
Your team scores and how baseball people, you got to. For me, if there's such a thing as a shutdown inning, this needs to be it for Shota. You just gave up a 3 spot. Got to come back out here and take control of this game. And there's Soto He's down for both games of this doubleheader. Ironically, that it happens right as Lindor comes back.
Pop to the air. Horner out. Suzuki in. Seiya out number 2. So by your way of thinking, if he does it here, this is the shutdown.
Well, I think it's your job to shut down inning every time you go out there. But just in terms of if I'm the pitcher and how I'm feeling about my prospects going forward, I need to reassert myself after having that bad inning.
There's that curveball. Ibanaga ready, the 1-1.
You want to do something big right there. Big leg kick. Ferocious swing of the bat.
Shota the 1-2. And Seiya right there to make the catch. It's a shutdown inning.
Shut him down.
For Shota.
To the top of the 4th. It's been all negative pitching news when it comes to the starting rotation and the injuries that are stockpiling for the Cubs, but we do come with some good news, and that is that Matthew Boyd will be back and starting for the Cubs tomorrow. This comes all after Matthew underwent meniscus surgery, has not pitched in a major league game since May 3rd. He's been working his way back in rehab starts. This is his most recent outing on Saturday through 59 pitches, 4 scoreless innings, struck out 7. But as we have noted, there was a little bit of a setback during his rehab outings because he wasn't recovering the way he expected. He has since said that he feels like it was a little bit to do with his mechanics because he was overcompensating for his knee and something with his shoulder just wasn't quite right. But hopeful tomorrow everything is.
Nico Horner is into second. So Horner with 2 doubles here tonight.
Yeah, hustle double this time from Nico as this ball is headed towards the gap in left center. And it's raining doubles for Nico here lately. Good base running. Got to cash it in. Type your resume, Nico.
I love just that stone-faced look. And now Carson Kelly, who knocked in the Cubs' first run tonight. And he takes the strike.
Ish, huh? Yeah, these guys went double-double in the second inning.
Taylor was talking about Boyd having a setback. It was the shoulder that was barking. And he had to stop the process briefly. One and 2 on Kelly, man at second. Got in on his thumbs. Mets lead at 3-1. Man in scoring position. And that one fouled back. Ground ball right side. Simeon knocks it down, picks it up, throw to first, offline. Everybody's safe. He just got a little rushed after he didn't field it cleanly.
That ball sharply hit, but Lindor in the first boxes a routine ground ball. This time Simeon, whose hands betray him, and then his arm lets him down. I don't know if the second base umpire impacted that play or not. A big chance here for the Cubs.
Guy who's won a couple of Gold Gloves. Ramirez takes outside. Pedro 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. Ground ball, base hit right field. In to score is Nico Horner. Ramirez the RBI single into right. Kelly stops at second, and it's 3-2.
Nico, as the catalyst, gets it started. Ramirez does a nice job sticking his nose in there and pinging that the other way. Big hole on the right side. He took full advantage.
Ramirez getting his first taste of the majors at Iowa this year. He was hitting .312 with 11 doubles, a triple, and 9 homers. He had a .942 OPS at AAA in 43 games. He was great. Big league debut on May 23rd. Opportunity here for Dansby Swanson, a strikeout victim his first time up. 2 on, nobody out, and the Cubs down a run. That one inside all the way to the backstop, and the runners will advance. It almost hit Swanson.
I don't know if Dansby was trying to convey to the dugout that this ball did hit him. And then went between his legs. I mean, how did it not hit him, right? That's amazing.
Yeah. I think if we could stay out here for the next like 10 minutes and the two of them could try to do that and wouldn't be able to do it. Fouled off at the plate. Now 1-1 on Dansby. Cubs trail it by 1, 2 aboard. Minaya listens and says yes. Line drive, softly hit into left field. That's a base hit. Ramirez will stop at third as Kelly comes in. Swanson delivers again to tie the game. It's 3-3.
Three, 2 on, still nobody out. The big error by Simeon setting the Cubs up for a big inning. A little softy here from Dansby, but this will play. Dumps it in front of Benj out there and left. No need to be risky there if you're Quentin Berry.
And now it's Pete Crow Armstrong, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Time now for the advanced metrics powered by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. Isolated power, probably better than slugging percentage to give you an idea of who's really hitting for power in PCA since May 30th. Leading the bigs. That one butted over the head of Bichette. In to score is Ramirez. It's a bunt single. He popped it over the third baseman. I don't know whether he was doing it on purpose, but Swanson loves it. Smile from PCA, and the Cubs have the lead.
Well, he struck out his first 2 times. It did not have good swings at Manaea, so he figured the bunt might be in play here. I do not know. That was not his intent. But it sure was a thing of beauty.
Ramirez in. The Cubs have the lead. Sean Manaea done for the night. Pitching change brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time.
The PCA pops it right over his head to the delight of everybody. Blue. Mets, none too pleased. When you're hot, you're hot.
Huascar Brazoban delivers a strike to Max Shaw. That kind of says it all. We have PCA and you don't.
Yeah.
You did, but now you don't.
You did, but you don't. Ooh. Left one up. Now he had a good rip at it. Brazoban's done a nice job. Got a 191 ERA. Despite a pretty high walk count. Yeah, he's always been a guy who gets you a ground ball, and that's what they're hoping for here, trying to get one on the ground, get a double play, try to clean up this inning. 33rd appearance for the lanky right-hander.
And that is strike 3. Shaw is gone. Brazoban gets Shaw. Now it's Seiya Suzuki, who's reached on an error and struck out.
.97-mile-an-hour sinker. Doesn't have huge strikeout numbers, just right around league average, but what he does do is induce a lot of soft contact. Lowest hard hit rate against. And you see Brazoban just behind Miller and Yarbrough. Significantly better than league average.
That is significant. Cubs 4, Mets 3. Swanson at second, PCA at first. Swing and a miss from Seiya. 2-2. Brazoban will step off, and I think he wants Alvarez to go through the signs again. Cubs 4 runs on 6 hits. Mets 3 runs on 3 hits. Mets have committed a pair of errors. And that is in there, and Seiya didn't like it.
Yeah,
it was low.
Challenge.
Yeah, that's a spot to challenge.
Yeah, a couple guys on base. I mean, his reaction tells you he thought it was down, and he was right.
Yep.
Again, that's not easy in real time. I think a lot of times it's the second pitch in an at bat. Like if a guy thought a pitch was off and called a strike, he might not challenge, but the next time it happens, it's more front of mind, and then he'll challenge.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is just everybody getting used to it. If it stays as is, all the players are going to figure it out. The 1-1. I think it's probably something that you're putting in your head ahead of every pitch. The 2-1. Popped up foul.
Yeah, I know they talk about it, you know, in between innings, and the dugout or cue will let a hitter know, and you know, in a certain inning, hey, this is a good time to be aggressive, you know, late in game or whatever. Be mindful of the situation. From pitch to pitch, I think it would be difficult as a hitter. You got so many other things going through your mind.
Sure. Bregman fouls that off. And that one got off Alvarez, and it almost made it back to the second level, back towards us. Watch this. Doink. And then it made it just underneath the level of seats beneath our broadcast booth. Down and away.
All kinds of crazy movement for Brazoban. Nothing straight.
Swanson at second. Crow Armstrong at first. 2 down. 3-2. Off the end of the bat. They'll do it again. Game 2 of this doubleheader. Much better crowd here tonight than for the day game. Swing and a miss. Bregman is gone. Alex not able to deliver in that spot, but the Cubs put up the crooked number and take the lead. PCA, the punch bunt hit. It's 4-3. Chicago right here. Cubs lead at 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Imanaga back to work, delivers a little bit high.
That fastball at 90. We've seen 93s and 92s from Shota. He said there was 194 earlier on. Vientos, his first time up there, really aggressive with the fastball. If they feel like he's got a slow bat, they can just attack with heaters.
The 1-0. It's in for a strike. The 1-1. Drilled out towards left center field. And it's back on its way and out of here. Vientos with the homer. And just like that, we're back to even. Vientos number 10.
Well, they may have felt like they could just continue to attack with fastballs, but Vientos caught up to one. As we mentioned before, he's got big time power. 3rd home run allowed by Shota tonight. Just really super aggressive with that fastball, trying to work the top of the zone.
I think in both cases with Alvarez and Vientos, that's drilled right field, but Suzuki waiting for it and makes the catch, and Simeon is out. I think in both cases, if they hadn't, those pitches hadn't run so much arm side, I think he would have been a little happier if they had been further in and that far up, because they were both fairly high.
Yeah, but the Alvarez one especially so. I mean, he had to really work to go up and get his.
First offering to Alvarez misses. Francisco a homer his first time. He's got 8. Minaga. The 1-1. So Shota at 48 pitches, and again the home run ball has been a story for him. He's now given up 20 on the season. He hasn't given up any in his last 2 starts. And for the Cubs as a team, allowing homers has been a large part of the problem. All the Mets runs today on home runs. Broken bat, Corner waits on it.
Yeah, let's take a look at these home runs from the Met hitters against Shota here tonight. And talk about Shota trying to work top of the. Look how high this pitch is that Alvarez gets to. I mean, that's way up out of the zone. Ewing gets middle in. Always a dangerous location. And then Vientos, yeah, I think they wanted to crowd him, but he leaves it out over the plate. Not in enough and probably not up enough. And probably one too many fastballs.
First one to Wagaman misses, and ball 1 to the designated hitter. Singled his first time. On the ground to third, and Bregman handles and throws him out. But the leadoff homer by Vientos, and as we go to the 5th, it's 4-4. Live odds brought to you by Bet365. Winning is everything as we head to the 5th. And the Cubs 4 and the Mets 4 with Michael Busch at the plate. And ball 1 to Bushy, who has grounded out twice.
Well, if the Mets win this ball game, Brazoban will have earned himself a game ball. What a job he did in the 4th. First and second, nobody out, and he punches out 3 in a row. Cubs had scored 3. It looked like they were going to put together a real big inning.
Busch stepping out. Game 1, Michael homered. He also walked and was hit by a pitch. It's off the outside edge.
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it's a strike, and Busch is gone.
New York has 2 challenges remaining.
Make it 4 in a row for Brazoban. Good challenge from Alvarez. See why this guy has such a low hard hit rate. There's so much movement on his pitches. Everything's moving away from the barrel.
First one to Nico Horner is in for a strike. Nico, a pair of doubles, and he has scored twice. We're tied at 4. Cubs have out hit the Mets 6-4. The Mets have made the only 2 errors in this game.
Now 4 runs charged to the starter Manaea. One of those unearned, and because of the Simeon error. Defend that wicket, Nico.
Oh, 2. Nico wouldn't chase that time. To the right side, Simeon gathers it in and throws him out, and there's 2 away.
With the right coverage from auto owners, when the unexpected happens, you know you're covered. That's simple human sense.
2 down. Carson Kelly will come up to hit. Reached on an error his last time up. He's also knocked in a run with a double. The Cubs tweaking the lineup a little bit. Ian Happ getting the nightcap off. Seiya Suzuki back in there defensively for the first time in a bit. Matt Shaw getting a start in left field. And Kelly starting at catcher after Amaya started the opener of the double dip.
I believe that's Shaw's first career start out there in left.
I mean, he's got starts this year at first, second, and third, right and left. I think in center as well, actually.
I think he may have. He's played 1 inning in left field prior to tonight, but this is his first start out there. Might have been a little low. Nobody can accuse Wasker Brazabon of not paying his dues. He spent about 10 years in the minor leagues before he finally got to the big league level. That was a good bit low.
Seven below the knees and misses. Foul.
It's a big moment for Carson Kelly. 500th career hit. He collected the baseball, and that will go back to his office. They're building a house in Portland, so an office is still under construction, Boog, but there's a lot of items that will go in there. So I asked him naturally, what's your favorite item? The bat from the cycle. Take that, folks.
Yes. Love that. And a recording of JD yelling, "Run!"
The Padres come to town this Monday. Start of a 3-game set. Tickets are still available. Cubs.com/tickets. Brewers started play today. 9 games behind the Dodgers in the NL West. Still very much in the wild card conversation. I mean, it's only the 3rd week of June. Everybody's, well, not everybody, but you know what I mean. Just about everybody's still in the hunt.
Here's A.J. Ewing. He takes a pitch outside. Bunted. Oh, it took a weird hop. What did that hit?
I think it was a frog or something. Bounced off the frog's head.
I think you're right.
That's a funky spin. I like it changed directions twice. Oop. Oop.
Zip.
Oop.
That's where did it hit the frog?
Right here.
Watch this. Zip.
Get that thing before it changes its mind again. Yeah, everybody wants to be PCA.
Up foul. I grew up around frogs. I think I was like 30 before I saw my first frog. No sleeves. 1-2. Two now.
The Ewing home run was a little bit of a surprise. Alvarez, we know he has power. Vientos, we know he has big time power. Ewing known more for his speed, but he laid into that one. Came with a man on base.
Leadoff walk, and that is not what Shota's looking to do with a lefty up there.
We invited passionate soccer fans to push Nissan vehicles to the limit, just like they do with their teams. Hurry in to the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get 2,000 customer cash on Kicks SR.
Beatty tries to bunt, missed it, and that's strike one. You think he's doing that, or are they putting that on?
I think he's doing it.
The 0-1.
That home run for Ewing last time he was up there, his first against a left-handed pitcher this year, and he only had 2, period. And a 147 batting average against left-handed pitching into the game.
Ewing edging away at first. Check swing and a foul, and now it's 1-2.
Yeah, Ewing certainly a threat to run. When you look at StatCast sprint speed, he's actually a little bit faster than PCA.
Center field, PCA drifting back, and he makes the catch.
On Friday, July 17th, Cubs take on the Twins. First pitch, 7:05. First 5,000 early arriving fans in the Budweiser bleachers. 21 and older will receive a Cubs 1940s/1950s replica jersey presented by Budweiser. Please come early. You don't want to miss out. Oh,
to first, oh boy. Bush said, look at it. He started throwing it around. Craig Counsell, and hang on. They're going to look at it. I think he got him on the upper hamstring there.
Got him on the buttocks for us.
Chicago's challenging the safe call at first base.
They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Base runners beware. The Cubs have been really good. The Cubs pitchers are picking off guys at first base. That's even without a lot from Matthew Boyd, who's been hurt so much of the season.
Yep. I think he's out, JD.
I think so too.
After review, the call of the field's overturned. The runner is out. Chicago retains their challenge.
So Carson Bench picked off by Shota Imanaga. And here in the bottom of the fifth, there's 2 away.
Good challenge from the Cubs video replay room. A sneaky move there by Shota. Yep.
And that breaking ball is in for a strike.
How about that note? 41 pickoffs since the start of last year, 14 more than any other club.
Lead the majors again this year. That's inside. Tried the corner and missed.
He's moving his feet.
Fly ball left field. Shaw back now in. Makes the catch. And Shota faces the minimum in the 5th.
Brought to you by Prevagen. This was just a couple hours ago, the first game of the day, out with the Norwegian soccer fans practicing our rowing, doing whatever the heck's going on there. We noticed it, but also the players noticed it. So Javier Assad, the starter for the Cubs in Game 1, came out for his press conference with the Cubs translator, Freddie Quevedo, wearing Team Mexico jerseys. They went and bought those in Atlanta when the team was there a couple weeks ago and had them ready for just the perfect moment. So it was hard to miss them, but the players certainly were well aware of what was going out there, and they enjoyed it.
The World Cup fever is sweeping the nation. The Norwegian contingent here today. That was a lot of fun. Guy gave Taylor really high marks for her rowing, but clearly she needs a little work.
Exactly. I graded myself
you're all
4 out
arms.
of 10.
Yeah.
All arms, but it's not about how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, that's right. And
I can always practice and get better.
Embracing the moment.
Exactly.
Rayleigh ready to work. And he'll one fouled away. Pedro Ramirez, an RBI single. Pitching change brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. And Rayleigh's pitched well.
Sure has, but from the Cubs' perspective, probably glad to see anybody out there other than Huáscar Brazoban. He was brilliant. 6 up, 6 down with 4 strikeouts. The first 3 of which came with a couple men on base. Brooks made his big league debut with the Cubs way back in 2012.
Punched into right field and fair ball. Kicks off the sidewall. Ramirez dives into second. He's got a double.
Doubles the order of the day. That's the 4th one for the Cubs here this evening. 2 from Nico, 1 from Carson Kelly, and now this one from Pedro. Just a little punch the other way. Eyes on it the whole way. Knows he's got a chance for 2.
Commanded obvious shirts. Joe, Norway's favorite baseball player ever. Dansby, number 7. Thank you, Norway.
He'll show up when he hits a 3-run home run and a grand slam in the same game. We'll be looking to buy some Dansby merch.
It's a 2-run homer right here. High fly ball, right center field. Pretty well struck. That one back up against the wall, and it bangs off the wall. Ramirez on his horse around third. He's in to score. Swanson makes his way to third. It's an RBI triple, and it's 5-4. Dansby having himself a day.
And another extra base hit for the Cubs. This time a 3-bagger from Dansby. And triples are brought to you by Invesco QQQ, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Looked like it might get out of here. Beatty with diving and not really looking at the baseball.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to feel so good for Dansby Swanson as that average continues to climb.
And doing damage too.
16 runs batted in his last 6. He had 1 in his previous 24.
Pete felt like he should have done something with that one.
How could you tell?
I don't know.
outside.
That's the challenge, right, in baseball, to go from that moment of like intense anger to like calming everything back down to get ready for the next pitch.
Foul and out of play. Good battle between PCA and Brooks Raley right here. Cubs have forged ahead thanks to the triple from Dansby Swanson, looking for more as an insurance run is 90 feet away. Infield squeezing in towards the infield grass, and now time called, and I think PCA had something in his eye. Armstrong, drafted by the Mets in 2020, traded to the Cubs in 2021. And he takes outside. Dubbed PCA by Braves LA area scout Kevin Martin back when he was in high school. He was the first guy to call him that. 3-2. Good eye.
Yeah, that's good work.
And takes the walk right there and hands the baton over to Matt Shaw. Downstairs, T-Mac.
You mentioned the origin of the nickname. I called Kevin Martin, asked him about it, and he said it really just started watching him play in the LA area, and we knew he was elite, especially defensively. So everybody kept talking about Pete Crow Armstrong, Pete Crow Armstrong. And he said it became a mouthful because we were saying it 24/7. So he asked Pete and his dad one day if he could call him PCA. It was the first time they had ever heard it. And they just kind of laughed. Well, obviously in the baseball circles, it has stuck. And amongst everyone who knows him as a player, that's what he's referenced as. But anybody who knows him as a person certainly does not call him PCA, I'll tell you that.
Yep. One hop off the glove of Simeon, goes to second. They get one. Swanson is in, and Shaw knocks in the run, and it is 6-4. Matt hit that one hard.
With the pace of that ground ball, if Simeon gets it cleanly, they might get a double play. But that was not an easy chance, and that's a big run coming home for the Cubs. Sinking line drive. Not able to make the play, and insurance runs come home. And it's brought to you by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and people's strategy partner. He's trying to hold his ground on that hot smash.
Yep. Check swing and a called strike. And 1-1 on Seiya Suzuki.
When you look at the Mets club and you break it down, you look at the lineup, starting pitching, team defense, bullpen. The bullpen has probably been the strongest part of their club. Weaver and Williams are two end of game guys we've not yet seen in this series. They've both been off, as a matter of fact. They haven't pitched since last Thursday.
Suzuki back in with a runner at first, one out. On the ground to short. Lindor to Simeon for one on the first, two. Close play. Suzuki slams his helmet in frustration. They will not look at it, and it'll be an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. The Cubs score twice, and they have the lead. It's 6-4. Shota Imanaga back to work, and we'll face Francisco Lindor. 6-4 Cubs, bottom six. And that's in there for a strike. Cubs trailed this one 3-1. And tied it up. The Mets took the lead 4-3. And now the Cubs have taken a 6-4 advantage. In the air right field, Suzuki Seiya under it and makes the catch. And for the third time tonight, Lindor flies to right.
The 50-50 raffle mega jackpot continues through this road trip. Fans in Illinois can purchase raffle tickets through the end of Sunday night's Brewers game. The jackpot currently stands at over $246,000. Visit Cubs.com/raffle to get your tickets.
Shota Imanaga done for the night as he goes 5 1/3. Pitching change brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time.
Tune in tomorrow at 6, 7, or 8 a.m. for highlights from tonight's game, or catch it anytime on the Marquee app or YouTube. Well, doubleheader today, so you get 2 for 1 tomorrow. Gavin Hollowell out of the Cub bullpen. And for just the 4th time this year for the big right-hander. Pitches a college ball right here at St. John's.
That's about 3.5 miles away over there in Jamaica.
He's got to be jacked up to be pitching here. A lot of family and friends, assuming in attendance.
I know I've seen at least one Hollowell jersey. The 1-1. Crossfire misses outside. Bichette has struck out and he has flied out. High fly ball, right field, on its way and way gone. So Bo Bichette unloads and makes it a 1-run game.
Craig Counsell the other day, when asked to address all the pitching injuries, said, you know, guys are just going to have to pitch in some uncomfortable situations. Guys that normally aren't used in leverage situations are going to have that opportunity. Bichette, man, did he ever unload? Cement mixer. I noted earlier that big aggressive swing he takes.
And now it's Vientos with 1 out. Shota Imanaga 5 1/3. Giving up 4 runs. Vientos homered his last time up, flied out foul in the second, so he's 1 out of 2. Liner caught out of the air by Nico Horner. There's 2 away. So 2 down. It'll bring up Marcus Semien. Cubs 6, Mets 5. They're the last half of inning number 6. Finds the mark. One hop and a bad hop as it skid past Michael Busch, or at least a tough hop into right field.
Yeah, not an easy play, but a play Michael normally makes.
They hit the seam?
Might have. A little cutout.
Time called. Alvarez will step out. I don't know. Stayed down though. Bush over top of it. Would have been a nice play. He has your spirit right now in terms of scoring the game.
You can sense my frustration, can't you? The technology is failing me right now on my iPad. Just keep getting the circle of death here.
Swing and a miss. Whoa, big swing. 1-2.
That sweeper. Alvarez looking to launch, just pulls off a little bit.
Swing and a miss, and Hollowell gets the strikeout. Mets get a run back. Bichette goes deep. Cubs lead it by 1. Chicago Cubs baseball on Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. By Prevagen, made for the brain. And by Wintrust, different approach, better results. Back in New York. Peek at the Brooklyn Bridge as we head to the 7th, and the Cubs on top of the Mets, 6-5. Luke Weaver.
Yeah, you know, I often say it around this time of the game, it'd be a good idea to score a little bit more. Luke Weaver always been a tough guy to score on. 30 appearances, a 2.25 ERA. A longtime starter who has made a very successful transition to the bullpen.
Bregman, Bush, and Horner. Stu Sherwater. What do we need? We need to work pitch com. Oh, they charged him with a violation. Did he just not go out there with it? I like that. Yeah, ball 1, no strikes. Good for you, Stu Sherwater. I'm here for it. You guys have heard me complain about that. You just charge your phone. Turn the volume up. 2-0 now. So Weaver falling behind, and it's 3-0.
Mentioned it's been a while for Weaver. Thursday was his last appearance. Would be understandable if he wasn't real sharp. How about those numbers? Last 18 appearances, 20 innings scoreless, 25 punch outs against just 4 walks.
Two to Bregman. And Alex fouls it back, hanging in there. Bregman has flied out, walked, and struck out. Hasn't had a real hot stretch yet. 3-2. Nobody on, nobody out. And a good eye as that breaking pitch missed down low. Well, that was a changeup. I beg your pardon.
Looked like a breaking ball, didn't it, the way it moved?
Yeah. And now Bush with a bug in his face asks for time. Michael 0 for 3, has grounded out twice and struck out once. He was a big part of the win in game 1 with a 2-run homer that tied the game at 3.
Good healthy rip there at that 95-mile-an-hour heater. When Weaver first came into the league as a starter with the Cardinals way back in 2016, he was kind of 91, 92 miles per hour. It's kind of added velo, and now working out of the bullpen, you typically see a little jump in velocity. He's averaging 95 miles per hour.
With the Yankees, and he was averaging 96. The 0-2 swing and a miss. Bush is gone.
He features that split change.
We do one thing here at Citi Field that I think is super clever that I like, and that is when the home team pitcher picks up a strikeout, they play the first couple of bars from beating, and you don't even know it's the first couple of bars from beating unless you're really paying attention. In the air, Simeon ranging out, long run off his glove, fair ball, and everybody's going to be safe. It hung up there forever, and Simeon on the move could not haul it in, and the fans letting him hear it.
Well, it'd be his second error, third for the Mets, to go along with at least one or two other plays that could have been made that were not. A lot of Marcus for playing both ends of the doubleheader, but he might be a little fatigued.
Off the outside edge of the glove. So with one out and two aboard, a great opportunity. Carson Kelly here. Ball one to Carson, who's knocked in a run with a double. Reached on an error by Simeon and scored, and he's also grounded to third. Cubs lead at 6-5, looking for more here in the 7th. Weaver kicks, deals. Ground ball to short. Lindor to Simeon. On to Vientos. 6-4-3 inning ender.
On Wednesday, July 1st, the Cubs host the Padres. 1:20 first pitch. Stop by the Salvation Army pop-up in Gallagher Way and trade a gently used clothing item for an Edward Cabrera pin. There will be bins inside and outside the gates, so no ticket is required to participate.
Toby Milner.
He participates almost every day, it seems.
No question.
Just a little under half the games. 37th appearance for Hobie.
He's good at generating gentle contact.
Now it holds a high percentage of the time the team that out-homers the other team will win. The Mets have out-homered the Cubs 4-0 here in this ball game, and they're trailing.
What's the out-homer number in the majors this season? You out-homer the opposition. I'm thinking, I feel like last look it was 75%. He played 750 baseball thereabouts. I don't know who has it somewhere. That is in there. Milner freezes Wagaman.
Albie with that crossfire delivery, somewhat reminiscent of what we saw from Manaea earlier. We'll clip the inside corner of that one. Punch him out, Stu.
One away. You out-homer the opposition this year. You play 764 baseball. That is ripped out towards right center field. And that'll touch down and bang off the 380 marker. PCA retrieves it quickly and holds Ewing to a double. He's had a good night.
Yeah.
Run homer, a walk, and now a double.
You better get that ball back in a hurry with him running the bases. Any little mishandle or bobble, it's going to be a triple. Yeah, maybe a little more juice in that bat than we were led to believe.
Torrens will pitch hit. Ottavy will head out.
All right, fellas, here's how we're going to go after Torrens. I assume the Mets are a man short on their bench with Juan Soto dealing with that back issue. He may be able to pinch hit, but I think their plan is to stay away from him.
Yeah, I would guess that.
That's unavailable mode right there. Yeah? Hanging out with the hoodie on.
One out, tying run at second. Torrens. 216 on the year. The 1-0 off the inside edge. Scooped in the air down the right side, slicing foul and out of play. Torrens in his career has hit lefties a good bit better than righties. No surprise there. I mean, nothing great. 704 OPS against righties in his career. It's 597. One inside, way off the plate, and now 3-1.
And for a guy who has not been a particularly good offensive player, he's been an extremely good pinch hitter. I mean, crazy good. 21 for 61, a 344 batting average.
Wow. That one missing inside, so Milner not able to retire Torrens, and now the lineup flips. And back to the top of the order. Carson Bench, MJ Melendez will run for Torrens. One out, two aboard. Yeah, there's a strike to Bench. And off the outside edge. Thornton, I believe, is ready out there in the pen. Misses, and now 2-1. Downstairs.
Trying to clip that corner and just can't land it.
So Trent Thornton waiting out in the pen. Trent waiting to see how this will play out. Toby Milner. Check swing and a called strike.
Away, 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 and then they go to the inside corner. Not intentionally. You see where Carson was set up. He wanted that one away. They caught a break.
3-2. Dribbled out front of the plate. Fair ball. Carson Kelly goes to second, and they get the out there. So Kelly pounces on it. And the double play was just not possible in that spot.
Now he keeps a man out of scoring position, so the tying run is on third base. The go-ahead run would have been on second had he opted just to make the easy play at first. Good instincts, good quick reaction, and a good strong throw.
Huge spot as Milner faces Lindor. His first game back since injuring his calf April 22nd. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Tying run 90 feet away. That's towards third. Bregman up with it. He'll go the short way to Horner, and they get out of the inning. We'll head to the 8th. The Cubs still lead it by a run.
Ready. Well, ladies and gentlemen, spend your 4th of July all week. Wrigley Field. Enjoy special promotions, festive ballpark activities, and stay after the July 4th game for a spectacular fireworks show. For a full list of the week's events, visit Cubs.com/tickets. Got the Pods and the Cardinals coming to town.
Pride of Joliet will be in the house.
Yeah, Mark Grant, Mud. He's rolling in town with the Fighting Friars. There's the veteran lefty A.J. Minter.
Can confirm.
Cubs looking to play a little add-on here late. Take a little heat off the bullpen.
Minter, 32 years old. Feels like he's been around forever.
Well, yeah, he's been around a good while.
17 he debuted. Dansby Swanson's teammate, part of that group that won it all in 2021. That Braves team, they suffered a slew of pitching injuries, and Acuna went down. They still won it. That's to third. Handcuffs Bichette, and safe at first will be Ramirez.
Nobody's immune for the Mets out there in that infield. Well, that was a tricky little hop. But, you know, big leaguers get paid a lot of money to handle tricky little hops.
Yeah, he never got it cleanly. Bo adjusting to a new position. 4th error of the night for the Mets. Runner takes off, and a stolen base for Ramirez. He got a great jump.
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
Pitch was called a ball. And the ABS challenge now. And it's a ball.
The pitch is a ball. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
Oh my goodness, look how close. He goes on first move, and at that point Alvarez had no chance. Big high leg kick from Minter.
Fly ball right field. As the throw comes into third. Beatty, or I should say Benj, throwing off the arm. So now it's Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah, they got Melendez out in left now.
Yep.
And Ben's moved over to play right.
Strike 1 as that's fouled into the mitt of the catcher Alvarez.
Vientos, the first baseman for the Mets, the only infielder who has not been charged with an error here tonight. He's the guy that probably struggles the most defensively on their club.
On the ground. And Vientos, that one gets away, and racing home to score is Ramirez. PCA ends up on second. That'll end up going, I'm guessing, as an infield single.
Yeah, well, if there's going to be an error charge to anyone, I guess it would be the pitcher Minter, who wasn't able to come up with that feed from Vientos because it did not appear to be a real bad feed. A heck of a play laying out. Yeah, I'm thinking probably a knock here. A little extra pressure with PCA going down the line.
So the Cubs pick up some insurance, and it is 7-5.
So 2 of the errors that the Mets have committed tonight have come around to score. Well, they did charge an error.
PCA taking off for third. Throw there. And he is in.
Send him back. I think Stu's saying that he impeded with Alvarez's throw, causing a dead ball situation, and PCA has to return to second base.
So they're calling interference on Shaw.
No, there's no interference on Shaw.
Wait, so what just happened?
I think Stu
umpire
said when he drew his arm back, which is a savvy move, you know, if you don't think you can throw the guy out, reach back and hit the umpire when you're making the throw. Just a little brush.
Wow. Shaw lifts that in the air, left field. Melendez charging, and he makes the catch.
So that error was charged to Vientos, the first baseman. So they have errored for the cycle on the infield. Every Met infielder charged with an error here tonight. That was a tough one, though. Vientos made a real nice play and not a horrible feed.
First 5-error game since 2014. Well, it's got to be an error that allows Ramirez to score.
To advance. Yeah.
Did Pete get a hit on that?
Yeah, the advance, there would have to be an error to justify the advances on the bases.
It's an error all the way.
Oh, straight error, yeah.
But didn't he start the play? How do you account for Ramirez scored? Sorry, that's just dorkiness, but I'm just curious. 1-1.
Well, you would he would account for scoring because of the errant toss.
Well, no, that's how he got to third.
Oh, he didn't score on that play?
Well, he's not getting too.
So he's going to third on the ground ball to the right side.
Yes.
And the throw gets away and he comes around to score. TCA goes to second.
Okay. That one gets away from Alvarez, and now Pete will head to third. And on the pitch in the dirt, Pete Crow Armstrong takes 90 feet, 7-5, and another insurance run 90 feet away.
And Alvarez spikes that ball and discuss how to play. Yeah, you can have some issues back there receiving.
Yeah, that's no good. Suzuki swings and misses. 7-5 midway in the 8th.
Make your favorite players all-stars. Scan the QR code. Cast your 2026 Konami E-Baseball MLB All-Star ballot daily or visit MLB.com/vote.
All right, Trent Thornton will take over. Delivers a strike to Bo Bichette. Line drive, base hit, right center field. Suzuki slides to cut it off and then fires it in towards second. And that one, a double for Bichette. Seiya slow to get up.
Bichette, one of the more aggressive hitters in the game. He likes to attack early and hits the ball hard. Seiya hobbling a little bit as he heads back to his position. So the Mets continue to fight here. Really nice job getting over there, cut it off, but falling to his backside, just not able to get much on that throw at all.
There's a strike to Vientos. Thornton finds the spot. Swaggy V at the plate. He's homered. He's flat out foul. And line to second. Fair ball. Bregman. Nice pick at first. Michael Busch. Well done. Bregman able to put the stop on that one, and then Busch with the dig.
Yeah, brilliant play by Alex. Doesn't have a lot of time, no time really to check the runner at second base. Just has to get it out. And a nice pick by Michael Busch on the other end. And where the Mets have been kicking it around. Spectacular defensive work by Bregman.
That was gorgeous. He's got a gold glove to his credit, does Alex Bregman. Runner at third. Cubs lead it by a couple. Simeon 1 out of 3. Made a couple of errors. The Mets have made 5 errors tonight. The 2-1. Nico Horner waving his arms, makes the catch. And Bichette will stay put at third. There's 2 away.
Boos rained down on Marcus Simeon. A couple errors and then can't get that man in for third.
Be careful right here, though, with this guy. A solo homer in the second. He's grounded out and struck out.
Ooh, kind of an afterthought, that swing. And a cutter at 90. You hit that home run off Shota that was way up out of the zone. He likes to see it up. Sees it high, he lets it fly.
Alvarez, in 19 career games against the Cubs, has 8 homers.
Better revisit the scouting report.
The 1-1. Check swing, he went. And now it's 1-2. Trent Thornton listening in, says yes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Alvarez is gone. And Thornton pitches around a leadoff double. We'll head to the 9th, and the Cubs lead it by a couple.
Clank from Simeon, a little pop up. Drifting, can't secure it. Tricky little hop there for Bichette, but that's an E5. And everybody's got to get in on the act. So despite a really nice play on the dive by Vientos, the feed is off the mark. And he is charged with an error. Carlos Mendoza at his wit's end, with his club making 5 errors here tonight. So despite out-homing the Cubs 4-0, they're down by 2 runs.
Carlos Mendoza trying to become the first Met team ever to win a game and committing at least 5 errors. Fastball for a strike.
And I wonder how many times in their history, or any club's history, where they've out-homered the opposition 4-0 and managed to lose the ball game.
Yeah.
Somebody punch that into the computer.
By the way, just to give you an idea, since the year 2000, the Cubs are 1-60 when they get out-homered by 4 or more.
Yeah,
We like to
you
pound the home run
don't
drum,
want that.
but it's real. On the ground to third, Bichette handles the chance. And the pick made by Vientos.
That would have been another one. Vientos didn't bail him out. Almost looked a little yippy right there. You know how when they talk to the fielder after he's made an error after the game or whatever, and he said, "Yeah, I wanted that next ball hit right to me." I don't believe that. I think they're like, "No, please don't hit. I'm done. Don't hit it to me anymore."
Devin Williams, a 1-1.
What's that line when Pedro Guerrero was playing third base for the Dodgers back in the day, and Steve Sachs was the second baseman, and Saxy had the yips, and they were talking to Guerrero about his defense, and he's like, "Please God, don't let him hit it to me," and then he followed up with, "And don't let him hit it to Sachs either."
Yeah, it was dicey defensively at the time. The 1-2. And Bush has gone on strikes. There's 2 away.
Tough nightcap for Michael, 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. That changeup of Williams, they call it the airbender. That's a heck of a weapon.
Craig Counsell knows all about him. He managed him when he made his major league debut. A guy who was kind of running out of time. He was a failed starter like so many relievers, and they needed to figure something out and put him in the pen, and it ended up working. That's lashed right field, well struck, and over the head of Benj. And Nico Horner's got himself another double, 3rd of the night. And that was ripped, I mean juiced over the head of the right fielder.
Ben's got a pretty good break on that ball too, and he has outstanding speed. Just hit too hard. Triple double for Nico here tonight. Double in the 2nd, double in the 4th, double in the 9th as the Cubs look for a little more insurance. A little leather on it.
Six doubles in the last 5 games and 5 extra base hits. And a previous 40 plus. Horner, by the way, 21 doubles, ties up at 3rd in the bigs. Kelly trickles that one foul. Jacob Webb. Corner at second, 2 outs, 0-2. On the ground, Vientos has it kicked away from him. Everybody's safe. It's going to be their 6th error of the night. E3.
I think the headlines are going to be in the morning paper.
Oh.
You can't spell Mets without a great big giant E.
Yeah, the New York Post will probably have something special. Back in the day when newspapers were a thing and the tabloids here were so powerful, you'd have, there's the E.
Yeah, you'd always find the Post and the Daily News and look who could come up with the most creative headline.
Headless woman in topless bar. Broke his back, shallow right field. Simeon out, and it falls. Corner into score. Kelly to third, and the Cubs add on. It is 8-5.
Now they're booing that one, but that's a knock. That was not an easy play. I mean, unless the official scorer just wants to pile on, guess you could justify giving him an error on that. That's a base hit.
Yeah, I'm with you. And listen to the Cub fans. 8-5, 6 errors tonight for the Mets. Dansby Swanson with a pair of hits, 2 runs batted in. He's knocked in 13 in this series as Ramirez steals second. Check out the note, though, on Dansby Swanson. That's not for the Cubs. That's for anyone.
We got one more game here tomorrow night.
The 2-0. Changeup just finds the bottom of the zone. The 2-1. Line drive, base hit, left center field. 2 more coming in to score. Kelly, then Ramirez. He's knocked in 15 in the series and 4 more here tonight. That's 11 runs batted in for Dansby Swanson in the doubleheader.
Cubs reached 10 again. They scored 10 in game 1, 10 here now in the nightcap. A whole bunch of them driven in by Dansby Swanson. And they change how the Cubs decide to pitch the bottom half of the 9th.
Got to feel so good for Dansby Swanson, who's just been itching to break out. Swanson takes off, throw to second, too late.
Yeah,
the stolen base.
They're really pressing their advantage now. Alvarez behind the plate is really frustrated.
Yeah, we talked so much about the mental side, and for Dansby, it was a grind for a while. I mean, he said the low points of this season were the worst of any point in his career, and so it's really validating now the work that he's put in to finally see the fruits of that labor.
Crow Armstrong pops it up. Lindor out under it. and makes the catch. Cubs scored 3 more times. What a series for Dansby Swanson. It's all Cubs. In the series, and the Mets have made 6 errors. 10-5 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Jacob Webb to finish this one off. And Jared Young will come up to hit. Young hitting for Wagaman.
Cubs have outscored the Mets 47-21 so far in the season series. They swept 3 at Wrigley, looking for their 3rd straight win here.
Webb fires. And it's fouled off.
All 10 runs that have scored for the Cubs tonight have come from the bottom 4 in the batting order. And 7 of the 9 RBIs have come from that quad. Not a quadrant. What's a foursome? It's a foursome is what it is.
JD. Jared Young is struck out.
It's a quadrangle of Cubs. Pitchcom just blew up on him.
Water. Here we go.
Well, we're closing in on $250,000, folks, on the 50-50. We'll go through this weekend in Milwaukee.
Is climbing.
By the way, I was looking at the probables for the Brewers in this upcoming weekend series in Milwaukee. And it looks like Mizorowski, Harrison, and Brandon Woodruff are teed up to go for the Brewers.
Indeed.
And aside from Colin Ray, I don't know what the Cubs are going to do. You know what, though, Boog? We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Liner, left field, and Shaw is there.
Tell you what, that kid's been locked in.
How about tomorrow's problem?
Yeah, let's just worry about that right now.
Augmented reality tells us that Matthew Boyd is going to go up against the former Brewer, Freddie Peralta. For Boyd, his first start since May 3rd. The overall numbers for Matthew, not great, but he's just looking to get out there, pitch well, and start to get into a groove, pile up some innings. Melendez takes outside.
The Dansby notes are flying in fast and furious.
Are they?
First player in Cubs franchise history with 3 consecutive 4+ RBI games. Chris Davis of Baltimore, the last guy to do it in the big leagues. That came back in 2013.
I had someone asking me why the Cubs catcher likes cars so much that he put it on his chest. He really did. Let's go down to T Swaggy.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me who asked.
It absolutely was your burner account. You know, standing by, Cole and Elise.
Yeah, they are. We're going to break it all down for you.
Cubs post-game live. Break it down like a fraction. Four bombskis for the Mets, no problem for the Cubs. That's what Elise is going to say.
6 bootskis for the Mets.
Indeed.
How about a change up to finish them off here?
Change piece?
Little change piece.
Webb to Melendez. Off the outside corner. Three-two. Fly ball left field.
Hey, there's Ian Happ out there in left field.
Yeah, he was. Still is.
Snuck in there on me.
Yeah. And Suzuki out of the game. They move Shaw to right. And Melendez will take his base. There's Matt Shaw. He's in right field now. Seiya out of the game.
Well, in a perfect world, you'd have a quick outing for Webb here, not throw too many pitches, and keep him in the mix for tomorrow.
Runner takes off for second, squirts away from Kelly.
It's kind of odd.
Ooh.
Thanks for nothing, says Stu.
Two balls, no strikes. Webb to Binge. And that one misses. So with 2 outs, back-to-back walks. Game, Tommy Hotomy is going to go visit Jacob Webb.
Been a bit of a rough patch for Jacob Webb in the last couple of weeks or so.
By the way, tonight, Dansby Swanson, the first player in Cubs franchise history with 3 straight games of 4 or more runs batted in. Lindor getting a chance to hit left-handed for the first time this evening. 0 for 4.
One of those switch hitters has been really good from both sides. Webb really good against lefties because of that changeup. Jacob has allowed runs in his last 3 outings and 4 of his last 5.
2-2. Line drive caught, and fittingly it ends in the hands of that guy, Dansby Swanson. Another brilliant night for the Cubs shortstop. 3 straight games with 4 or more runs batted in. 11 RBIs in the doubleheader, and 15 in the first 3 games of this series. Unbelievable. The Cubs sweep the doubleheader. They'll go for the series sweep tomorrow. It's a pretty good day.
Yeah, just remarkable work by Dansby and any number of guys in that lineup contributing. 10 runs in game 1, 10 runs in game 2. They got out homered 4-0, but Mets play a sloppy ball. Cubs take full advantage. Good to see Nico back too, pinging doubles all around the diamond. But there's the man of the hour right there, number 7, Dansby Swanson. What a day.
Swanson and the Cubs pick up the win. For Jim DeShays, Taylor McGregor, and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi. Thanks for watching Chicago Cubs baseball here on Marquee Sports Network. Again, the final here in Game 2. Cubs win it 10-5. Tomorrow it is Game 4 of the series finale. Matthew Boyd will make his return to the mound. Coverage begins at 5 Central. Up next, Cubs postgame live. Cole Wright, Elise Menaker. Cole, take it away.
We're taking it away, Boog. And there's the Ryan Sandberg game, the PCA game just the other day. And today we might have to call it Dansby's day, a double dip.
Dansby's
he was running
doubleheader day.
Yep.
Yeah, Dansby's week. That's really what it's turned into.
Killing him.
So he's the offense, big contributor. Really nice to see. It has to feel really good for him.
Yeah, Dansby Swanson. He's been the executioner as of late. A 10-5 win. We'll tell you all about it on the